help you so that I can feel good about myself. I'm not going to tell the truth because I want that person to like me. I'm going to get sick so that I can get attention and care from others. I'm going to play the victim so that I can have support. I'm going to give a silent treatment to my partner so that he starts to do only things that I want, and with that, I get security. I'm going to stay in this toxic group of friends just so that I can have a sense of belonging. I'm going to stay in this unhealthy relationship just so that I can be the helper, and that gives me a sense of being needed. I'm going to ignore my true identity just so that I can have a sense of inclusion with other people. I'm going to study and work on the same things that my parents did, just so that I can have approval and acceptance from them. I'm going to become famous, just so that I can have a sense of significance. All our behaviors and manipulations, whether it is direct or indirect, this means whether you are aware that you are doing it or not, is a way to meet our needs. A need is something that is required in order to live, be successful, and happy. And you cannot unrequire something that is required or try to convince yourself that you don't need to meet certain needs. So this means that when it comes to meet your needs, there is only one way to deal with them, and that is to meet them. And what if you just ignore them and don't care about them? So what? Well, then here is where your needs will still be met, but unconsciously. So indirectly. This is where all types of addictions come from. Instead of directly, which is a more healthy and conscious way. Manipulation is exactly that. When we hear this word, we instantly think about someone being the devil and inflicting pain, and that only bad things come from manipulation. But that's not what manipulation is really about. Manipulation is about somebody who can't ask their needs directly up front, because that was something that in their childhood was not allowed, or it was seen as a weakness. So here the child has to find a way to still meet those needs in other ways. And our ego is a pro in finding ways for that. With manipulations, we are trying to influence others to do what we want them to do so our needs get met. And you might have realized by now that everybody uses manipulation in some way to get their needs met. So actually, manipulation is only bad and toxic when you try to meet your need without caring about what pain or damage will that cause to the other person. But the reason why so many people do that is not only because of how they were raised and taught, but because they have no idea that meeting your needs directly and being aware of them is a lot more satisfying. It gives you a lot more pleasure. And they don't even know that they can actually do that without having to hurt anybody. So here is a list of some examples of the needs that we have. We have the need of support, acceptance, protection, affection, connection, safety, security, the need for love, recognition, to be valued, to be listened, comfort, and the list goes on and on. There are the emotional needs, physical, and mental needs. If you need to become more aware of what kind of needs you have, you can find all those lists on the internet. And here's an interesting fact. The need that you find to be the most important for you as an adult are the ones that were not met in your childhood. So this means that your behaviors and manipulations are based on trying to get those needs met that you didn't got in your childhood. But this is also a way of healing, because to heal, you have to experience the opposite. So the opposite of rejection, denial, and so on. But if you don't know what they are, it's going to be like you are blindfolded and trying to find food with your hands. So sometimes you might find something to eat, but you don't even know what you are eating. So you might get something poison or eat something really unhealthy, and you are also like lost all the time. But it satisfies you for like an hour or two until you have to search for more. And other times you will find nothing and starve. This is how your body and emotions literally feel inside of you when you are not aware of your needs and don't heal your traumas. So, if you are starving, you end up meeting your needs in negative ways. And here are some examples on how people do that just to get their own needs met: dropping hints, lying, guilting others, self sacrificing, using emotional punishment, being seductive, making false promises, doing favors, making yourself the victim, threats, being greedy, and so on. Being greedy is the state of being when a person is in a starvation modus, like I said. It's not a natural state of being. Just think about it. You only hold on to something that much if you experience a lot of scarcity and fear. Doesn't this all sound like everybody in the world? But that's why it's so important to become aware of your needs and learn to get them met in a healthy way. Become aware of your own ways to get your needs met by asking the following questions: how do I manipulate? In what way do I make sure that I will get the reaction I want from others? What ways do I think I can meet other people's needs just so that they can meet mine? Then you can go deeper and ask yourself, what needs were not okay as a child to ask directly? It can be that it was not okay to be vulnerable, like crying, asking for help, or even asking for a hug, and so on. There are some traumas that you have experienced that don't allow you to meet your needs directly, even if you try, because it feels painful and scary. If you want to heal that, but you cannot do it on your own, you can book a session with me in my website to help you heal your traumas and create a resolution. A lot of people are not aware that when someone else is meeting your needs, you are also meeting some needs that that person has. So, if you are aware and direct with that, you both win big time. And you know what is the best part? Is that if the other person cannot meet your needs, instead of you being in a starvation modus and trying to convince yourself that, it's okay, I don't need that, I will survive without it, you can go to other person and let them meet your needs. Look, it is impossible for parents to meet all of their children's needs, or a partner to meet all the needs of another partner, or a friend to meet all the needs of another friend, and so on. It's just not possible. And the more you are aware of that, the healthier your relationships will be. We are a social species. We all need other people to be happy, fulfilled, and successful. So stop wasting your time convincing yourself that you don't need anybody and that you are super independent, or that it's okay to be in pain because the other person does not care about your needs. You are only keeping yourself locked in a mental prison of hell. When you start your healing journey, after a while, you will notice that there are some needs that is actually possible for you to meet them yourself. But there are other needs that can only be met by other people. So forcing yourself to be independent and not wanting others around you is not a natural state of being. It's just you denying your needs because of the shame and pain that you still carry. And once you realize that and start to gain awareness and search for healing, you will be able to learn how to outsource that without pain and shame. It's time to change how you operate, to become aware of who you are, what you like, and what you really need the most. And then learn how to get those things for yourself in a way that will make you feel amazing as well as the people around you. I hope this helped you in some way, and as usual, I wish you a very nice week.